Hello and welcome back everyone to this channel, and today in this Next.js video tutorial we will learn about the private folders, and this is the one of the feature of the Next.js which allows us to organize our project. So let's go to the Next.js documentation and see what are the private folders. Now as you can see, Next.js is saying Next provides a several features to help you organize your project, and one of the feature is the private folders. And you can create a private folder by prefixing a folder with an underscore. You can see here, to create a private folder, you need to prefix the folder name with an underscore and then specify the folder name. And this folder name will be a private folder in Next.js. Now, why to create a private folders? So here it is saying that this indicates the folder is a private implementation detail and should not be considered by the routing system, and thereby opting the folders, all its subfolders out of a routing. So in Next.js, you can create a private folder to store non-route related files and component. These folders are excluded from the routing process, ensuring they don't become accessible URLs in your application or ensuring they are not accessible in your browser through the URL. But private folders in Next.js is ideal for storing information that's not directly related to the user interface or routing of your application. Now let's create a private folder. So here you can see we have the app directory in our Next.js application, and let's create a new folder and we will call it utils, and this folder will store a reusable utility function used through your application, and this could include a function for data manipulation, formatting or validation. But right now this folder is not a private. To make it private, we need to add the underscore before the name of the folder. So here let's add it. Now this folder is private and this folder is not accessible in browser, or here we can store our non-route related files and component. So let's create a component or a file named validate email.tsx, and here we can store our logic to validate the email. Now this folder is not accessible in the URL. This folder is private because we prefix underscore with this folder name. Now if we go in the browser and try to access this URL, try to access this route segment or this private folder, we will not be able to access. So here slash and then specify the name of the private folder, which is underscore utils, and when we hit enter, we see the page not found, requested page does not exist, and that is because here the utils folder is private. Now if you remember from previous video, when we create a page.txt file in any of the folder, then that folder become routable and we will be able to access that folder in our browser through the URL. Let's create that page file in this private folder and see whether we will be able to access or not. So let's create page.tsx and here specify the name of the component, and then right here this is the private folders. Now let's go to browser and again try to access this URL path slash underscore utils, and this is the private folder. We have created the page.tsx file to make it routable, and let's see whether it is routable or not. When we hit enter, it is still not routable. We are not able to access publicly. That is because we have defined the utils folder as a private folder. So as you can see, when we create a page.tsx file and try to access this private folder using the URL, we are not able to access. And this is the private folder which allows you to store the component or the non-route related files that you don't want to access through the URLs in your application. Now let's move and see what are the benefits of the private folder. So let's go to Next.js documentation and scroll down, and here you can see this is the first benefit. So here, keeping UI logic separate from application logic, this is the first benefit. Now the second benefit is it helps in structuring your project for better maintainability, and third is many code editor allows grouping file based on the folder names, making it easier to navigate private files. Now last one is the conflict avoidance, where it prevents potential naming conflict with the future Next.js file convention. Additionally, while private folders are not strictly required for co-location, in the app directory, but they offer a clear distinction and improve organization. You can also mark individual file outside the private folder as a private using the same underscore prefix convention. However, this approach is less common, but by effectively utilizing the private folders, you can enhance the organization, maintainability, and clarity of your Next.js project. So I hope that you understand about private folders in Next.js. So at last, I want to say, don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel, and thank you.